Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know down there in the comments. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun. So, we're finally here. No more procrastinating. I've been dragging this out. I know, and I'm sorry. We're finally going to get going with our comprehensive grow where we're going to take a high-value crop, these exotic pepper seeds we got from John Ford from Ford's Fiery Foods, and we are going to grow them to the absolute maximum of our ability using some of the best stuff in the world. We got our soil here. If you're interested in hearing more about the soil, check out Friday's show. We had Scott Ostrander on the show talking about why the soil is so good, and specifically why it's so good with what's in this discreetly marked package, our comprehensive kit of Nectar for the Gods products. Nutrients, the stuff, also the other stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. We'll get after that in a minute. But how this all works together is what we're going to be discussing, discovering, working on. But the thing I want to talk to you about first is that we've got everything here we need to grow. The only thing that can mess us up is us. And that's what I'm hoping we're going to learn from this, is how we can grow as gardeners. We've got the good stuff here. How do we make ourselves present with our garden and interactive with our plants to figure out what they need and communicate with them and make the absolute best crop we can? That's what we're going to be doing. So let's just get going with that. Let's plant these seeds. Okay, I got them all in the soil. Let me just finish this up there, put this in there, and we're ready for our first watering. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is how we're going to water these for our first water. So let's get out, clean this up a little bit here. That's good enough. Let's get out our kit here, our comprehensive kit that we got from OCGFAM403. And I'll open it up, see what we got in here. Whoops. It's a box in a box situation here. Come on! Ah. It's packed well. Oh! Alright. Let me find it here. Okay. Alright. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and we're going to get into all this stuff, but the first thing I want to get into is the kit right here of the sample sizes of things that play well with nectar. We're going to get into here, and there's a couple of these we're going to use today for our first watering. We're going to use some SLF, and we're going to use some Dr. Root. Now, we'll probably, tomorrow, next day, we'll get into something with the full-on, but for right now, we're going to talk about these. So what I wanted to do was get Tim on the phone, the founder of Cultured Biologix, and talk about Dr. Root. I'm going to bring the screen out here. We're going to find out about what we do for our first watering. Tim!
Hey!
What's going on?
How you doing? Is it coming through?
It's coming through. I'm moving you to the big screen here. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah. Big screen.
Boom!
Means I made it.
You made it. You are there. We got something to talk to you about. Let me tell you what's going on. So, we've got the seeds. These are our pepper seeds we got from John Ford. The pepper seeds. I got them in the dirt. As you can see, I just put them in here. And so it's time for, I'm going to sit right here. It's time for our first watering. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm assuming we're going to use some Dr. Root, and we're going to use some SLF, and then maybe I wanted to ask you about the full-on for like tomorrow or the next day kind of situation. But first of all, am I correct in the SLF and the Dr. Root?
Yes.
Okay. Why the Dr. Root?
So the Dr. Root has a couple things that help the process of the soil start working.
Okay.
It just makes it so that microbial activity starts. You get some aloe vera, you get some humic acids that help the seed casing open, so the tap can pop through and the sprouting can sprout. There's also real good amino acids and some gentle plant food, so it's like starter food for the little seed.
Okay, because a lot of times we have this situation like, don't feed them, they're not ready for that, but they are ready for this. This is baby food.
Baby food, exactly.
Baby food,
okay. Just enough to get them to that point where you can start feeding them.
Okay. Now I've got, I just got a little jug of water here. I've got, I guess it's probably 32 ounces. So how much of the Dr. Root am I going to put in?
So it's a teaspoon per gallon on
Okay.
young plants. So if you do a quart, which is a quarter of a gallon, you're going to use a quarter of a teaspoon.
Quarter teaspoon. Now I have a half a teaspoon here somewhere. Hold on a second. I can just use a little bit of this. A little too much, little not enough is not going to be a problem, or is it pretty precise about this?
No, it's not going to be. Oh, it's real gentle on the plant. None of it burns. So you can do half.
So you can't do too much, but I suppose you could do too little for the efficacy of your situation.
Sure.
Okay, so I got that in there. Now, before I even mess with that, so the SLF, before I do anything, am I going to put the SLF in here in the same bottle? Same
bottle.
Okay, so I can just do that thing. So I'm going to mix this up first. So how much of the SLF am I going to put in there?
Like 2.5 milliliters per gallon. So it's half a teaspoon. Yep. A little dash.
All right, so I got that going. So now I'm gonna start pouring this on here. But tell me, how wet do you think I should get these things? They're super exotic type pepper seeds, and you know what I'm doing. How much should I put on each one? Should I get it pretty soaking wet, or should I just do a little bit of just a little bit and keep? What do you think?
You want it moist.
Moist.
It's a very generalized term, I know. But it's just not too wet, not too dry. You want it in that middle where, like, if you pick up a handful of soil after you watered it and you like squeeze it real hard, you should get like 3 or 4 drops of water out of it. That type of.
Okay. All right. Well, see, it's just pouring off the edge here. Santa Maria.
The worst thing you can do for your seeds is let the seeds dry out.
Okay, so we don't obviously want to soak them in water and have them too wet, but we should err on the side of a little wetter instead of drying them out to where they're gonna drop dead.
Right. Only start to letting them kind of search through the soil, and let your soil will be a little bit drier after they sprout. The seeds. That when the seeds dry up, they stop the catalytic process.
Now, if I did let them dry out a little bit, is this a situation where I'm done for, or will they kind of come back if I water them? I mean, obviously you don't want to let them dry out and just drop dead, but there is some leeway to this situation. Is that correct?
Right, and every plant's a little bit different. Peppers like the drier soils, so you can let them get a little bit drier. Tomatoes, they really don't like to get dry. I mean, they have they're a high water plant, so you have a little more leeway with the drier points with the peppers than you do the tomatoes.
Okay. What if I'm growing peppers?
Well, if you're growing the dank peppers, it's like right in between. They don't like it. You can let it go a little bit drier, but they don't like it real dry.
Okay.
Peppers like more dry than the dank peppers, and tomatoes like it more wet than the dank peppers.
Good to know. Good to know. I'll probably get Newton on here to talk about the SLF, but perhaps you could talk about just why you're doing the SLF in addition to the Dr. Root.
I just like it because in the very beginning of the stages of the plant's life, it requires enzymes and other biological compounds that the SLF has. Okay. The enzymes are part of the catalytic process to make sure that the seed converts the glucose inside of it into a compound that the plant can then use as energy to grow. So the enzymes inside the SLF provide the plant with some enzymes to help break down that glucose and start the first beginning processes of the seeds.
Okay. So, how often am I going to water with this? Am I going to use the SLF and the Dr. Root every single time I water when I'm doing my waterings at this point?
I rehydrate with it. You don't have to. It can be a little redundant.
Okay.
Plain water. I like to just use Dr. Root and SLF whenever I rehydrate my seedlings. So it keeps them nice and strong, gives them a nice root structure, lets them start feeding a little bit faster, I believe.
Okay, so we're working with the comprehensive kit, and this is all we got for now. We'll probably have to order some more of this at some point, and the same with this. But for now, you're saying that I can just, if I'm going to be keeping watering these tomorrow, they look a little dry, I'm going to water a little more. What, 2 or 3 days go by, and then I hit it again with these things, or what? Yeah. But would I gain a benefit if I did these every single time? I'm pushing, because that's what I'm doing here, is we want to do the best we can here.
If you're pushing, every single water, you want those 2 in there because they'll just get that plant, that seedling just jacked up these steroids and get it going.
Okay.
And then, the first week or 2 of the plant's life, and then after 2 weeks, starting with the early veg feed and the comprehensive kit.
Okay, once I start seeing, 2-3 sets of leaves on there?
Yeah, 3 tiers of leaves.
Okay, so now, go ahead.
Nectar's super too bad.
Okay. So, in the best case scenario here, would I like this to be drying out to where I'd water it once a day, like every 24 hours, or would I like to let it go a little longer, or what's the situation there, do you think?
Seeds, one thing I noticed soil after my first watering, I give it another watering.
One more time. You kind of broke up.
You just want to make sure this.
Okay, we had a little technical problem there with Tim, but I think we got the major information out, and we can talk to him again if we need to. We're going to be talking to him all through this process, along with everybody else. We're going to try and get Newton on here to talk about the SLF thing too, but we got our seeds bedded down. That's the show for today. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM403.com, and if you buy anything while you're there, use the code FAMHARVEST. It's going to save you 20%, and it's a lot of fun. The OCG Fam Show, it's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.